Mini Jake, the tribe has spoken.
Fuck you, Kevin.
Aw, fuck you too, sweetie.
I'm JJ, one of the original Tribe of Nerds members. You can catch me on Marvel, Pokemon, and other gaming podcasts.
What up? It's Josh, resident superhero nerd, but I also dabble in the occasional super villain as well.
Some may know me as the Chaos Gremlin, but really I'm just Joe King.
Pikachu, use Volt Tackle! Good job, Pikachu!
On the Tribe of Nerds.
Look who's not in jeans.
He should just remain shirtless this entire show.
And in his boxers.
She keeps the house.
Bitch, get off my man! Perfect music for me and Sawyer to dance to.
You know how clear that is?
Charlie. All right. Well, yeah. Sawyer's not a good guy.
He can be my bad
Neither's
guy.
Charlie.
He can be my bad guy.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tribe of Nerds. Kristin, Michael, Kevin, and I are here for Lost, Season 2, Episode 13, The Lawn Con. A Sawyer episode where Kristin gets to oogle Sawyer as he's shirtless almost the whole episode.
I am so giddy. I love this
Oh my gosh. The eye candy that she got to eat the entire episode.
Love it. Love it.
I hate...
Bother you that he's been such a monster the entire episode?
He is not. You hold your tongue. He is not. He is a gem.
I'm torn between the reality that he is both my favorite and least favorite character of the week and doing something funny when we get to that portion.
Yeah. I think I might throw you guys for a major loop when we get to that section, so it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Surely not.
No, but I'm interested to break this one down because there was a lot of like twists and turns, and I definitely thought certain things were happening and then it would kind of take another little twist and turn in the episode. So
This is a very good episode because as I was watching it, I was like, wait, who's on which side? Like, even
Right.
I've seen it multiple times now, and I was still like, wait, like, they're all getting conned. Like,
Yeah.
it's very good.
Yeah, and
This is like a much better version of the Who Poisoned Michael story.
Yes.
This was like that story done like 100 times better.
Yes.
Oh, 1,000%, because like I was definitely more intrigued over, you know, who did this to Sun, and like immediately they kind of tell you that it's not one of the others. So you're kind of wondering, well, who would do this? Because Sawyer couldn't have done the actual act because he was back at camp when Sun was getting dragged away. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So good. This is one of my favorite episodes of all time. I think that this episode stands alone. Like, this could be a whole like movie. Like this whole they could have dragged this out and made this an actual movie.
That's just because you want to see giant shows.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the storyline of it, they could have created a movie out of this whole story. You know what I mean? Like, there's the very solid episode just standing alone.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Should we jump into it? I can't wait to talk about Sawyer.
Let's jump into it.
I can't wait. So we obviously come right to Locke and Jack going into the armory, and all like right off the bat, they have issues, guys. We already know they've had issues from the start, but they're putting everything into the armory at this point to keep it safe. And Jack brings up a point. He's like, hey, Locke, what's the combination? And he's like, I'm assuming you're asking this because I might fall off a cliff, and not that you don't trust me. And he's like, well, you know, there's a lot of cliffs. Like, it's their banter back and forth, like, just 5 seconds into this episode is hilarious, as always. And so obviously he gives that up to them. This is their plan, is to keep everything safe, but Locke does make the plan of, if we ever need to open this, we need to agree and do this together. It should never be one of us over the other. We need to make this decision together. Kevin, I'm sure, is going to have a whole field day with this episode here. But then we get down to the beach where we see Sawyer. Oh, Sawyer, shirtless, wet. I'm all for it. Yes, please.
Not in jeans for one. He immediately put them on, but like went
Right.
swimming in
Right.
boxers.
Yeah, I mean,
The growth.
I'm for all of it. I'm for every single moment that happened on that beach there. But he talks to Charlie. Charlie is now obviously setting up his new digs because he has been kicked out of Casa de Claire. And
Reasonably so.
I mean, sure. But he has been relocated to the suburbs, as Sawyer says. And he didn't think, he's like, you've made Locke take a swing at you. And that's like Gandhi getting beat his kids. And just he's having a field day going at Charlie. And then Charlie's like, I'm not having it. You should probably be worried about Jack over there ransacking your tent. And Sawyer looks over and is immediately pissed. He walks over, him and Jack get into it. Jack starts taking all the meds and all the things that Sawyer has now taken back. And he's going to put those in the armory because of what Locke had said. And Sawyer made it very, very clear to Jack, you do not want to do this. And Jack says, are you threatening me? I, to which think he was just educating him. But with that, there is definitely some major tension here. We go over into our first flashback to open it up, where we have seen Sawyer doing the same con that he did before. He's sleeping with the ladies, and he's like, "Oh, I got a meeting. Oh, my briefcase broke." She immediately calls him out. Laughs in his face. He's kind of taken aback by this, like, what? Like, I don't know what to do here. And she basically is like, you should have done your research. I didn't get any money. Like, you're an idiot. Like, I'm not the one to con. And he's like, well, shit. Okay, I guess we'll just, call it a day. Let's go grab lunch. I don't know what you want. And she says, I want you to teach me how to con. She is all about Sawyer, which, I would too. I'd be like, Sawyer, let's do this. Like, let's go and be partners, Bonnie and Clyde. Let's do it. But she wants to know all the ins and outs of the conning. And of course, Sawyer's like, yes, let's do it. Let's con together, do the sexuals, and have all the fun times. And so that's kind of where we open up. Jake, what are your thoughts on this opening of our obviously many fights between everybody basically at the beach, and then our opening with Cassidy here?
Yeah, I liked just the immediate progression from the last episode, that we're seeing Charlie completely ostracized and kicked out, and even Sawyer's like, now you're the most hated over me. Like, I liked the progression there immediately, because I know in the past, like season 1, we had to wait a bunch of episodes for certain things because they were building up other stuff. And then obviously we haven't gotten anything from Rose and Bernard in a while either. So like it's nice to see that progression, but obviously we get some funny lines from Sawyer as well. And then getting to the flashback, it is fun to see like this lady be like the first one to call Sawyer on his shit that we've seen in his other episodes, where he pretends that, he accidentally dropped all the money out of the briefcase. And I don't know. Also, that always reminds me of Bullet Train, where like he accidentally opens the briefcase in Bullet Train, Brad Pitt. And it's, if you've ever seen Bullet Train, but yeah, I
come out before Lost. Maybe Sawyer watched it. Is that where he got his idea?
well, this movie came out like a few years ago, so this is way after the event.
Definitely not a Sawyer thing.
yeah. Unless Sawyer's a time traveler, but
you never know.
He can time travel right to my house. Let's just
true.
This whole episode's gonna be about it. I don't know why you're shaking your head. It's gonna be about it. It's fine.
But no, I thought that this was really fun to have like this moment of like Sawyer's getting called out and someone actually wants to like do what he's doing and be like a con person. So
Cassidy started off this flashback like so clever. It's like, oh, she's not dumb like the other people he's conned. and that kind of falls off a cliff quite quickly.
Oh, yeah.
I will say Cassidy is Madison in Fear the Walking Dead. So whenever she pops, she's one of those that's gone on to like much bigger roles. So whenever I see her in Lost, I was like, oh yeah, she's really good at Fear the Walking Dead, even though it's a garbage show.
No mention of Locke being
Listen.
He's just, I was waiting for this Jack and Locke.
It's just his typical Locke bullshit of he thinks he's the most important one. He thinks he has this god complex where he just thinks that he is the chosen one of the plane, and like he should have the combination to the Locke, and they have to. Well, I'll give it to you, but you have to agree to like. It's just like, get over yourself, Locke. Like it's just annoying. It's just his typical annoying self. Like, you're not that important. You're just a person. Get over yourself.
You should have the combination to the John Locke.
Well, Sawyer knows the exact combination to the John Locke and enters that and plays him like a fiddle. But yeah, I mean, he's just annoying. I love that. Like, I love Cassidy's whole thing. Like, but she, like, to start this episode, like, flipping that thing that we've seen so many times, flipping it on its head. Like, amazing. And yeah, sure, okay, fine. Shirtless Sawyer looks good. Cool. Okay.
Agree.
Locke isn't trying to be the only one. They're equals. They're equal partnership.
He does not think that they're equals.
They do it together.
He agrees when Jack says it, but like under conditions, because he thinks that he's the most important one.
I'm gonna let you guys continue this. I have to do something really quick. You guys continue this. You guys continue this fight. I have something I have to do.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, we haven't had a fight in a while, Kevin. I just don't think it's as. Yeah, it's both sides. Like, Jack's not trusting Locke. Locke's kind of reciprocating that back. Jack does want that information because he doesn't trust Locke. It's nothing to do with John's health.
Right.
It's right for John to be like, I'm so nervous.
Oh my God, you're so ridiculous.
Oh dear God.
No, listen, Jack also gets played in this episode, and Jack is also making some bad choices, but Locke does it all.
Wear that every episode?
I might. I just might. I mean.
Oh my God, she needs 7 of them so she can wear one every day.
7 days of Sawyer.
I did it. I'm gonna have to sit like this the rest of the thing.
God, you are. I mean this with all the love and support. You are so dumb.
Listen, as my little thing says, wherever it's at. I don't know. I love Sawyer. Love this.
I mean, it checks. This is
the best shirt I've ever owned in my entire life.
As Reds took like 40
now at nighttime when I go to bed, I'm gonna sleep with it, and so I can say I've slept with Sawyer.
You're gonna lay on Sawyer every night.
I am. I'm just gonna continue to
You
pet.
shouldn't be putting these things out there recorded.
I know.
He's gonna get a restraining
order. If Josh Holloway ever hears any of this, he's definitely getting a restraining order. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
You're watching this, Josh, run.
Like, comment, subscribe, comment where, like, tag Josh Holloway and let him know he needs to file a restraining order.
In all fairness, it is Sawyer. Okay, it's Sawyer, not Josh Holloway. But I mean, Josh Holloway, yes, please, too.
Just to be on the safe side.
Well, come on the podcast, Josh.
Yes, Josh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, shall we?
Kristin will be a safe distance away. It'll be
I'll be safely on my Zoom area, wearing you across my chest.
I'm gonna get myself a John Locke one.
Nobody wants that. That you can.
No one wants that.
Nobody
wants this.
Yes, they do. Look at this man. He's shirtless, somewhat. Anyway, all right. Getting back on track.
Stupid.
Getting back on track. We go back to the island here. Kate shows up. She knows that Jack and Sawyer have just gotten into it. And yes, I'm going to do that the entire time I mention his name. And she brings up that they obviously have had their, issues. And he's like, yeah, whatever. It looks like I'm on the outs with the doc. And she's like, well, I brought you some new reading material. Here's a Cosmo. And he's like, great. I've always wanted to learn how to feather my hair. And he's
Great
like,
line.
I lost my glasses. Can you read it to me? So she's like, okay, sure. And she brings up like how to tell if he's a sensitive man. They have a good laugh. Well, enter Locke, and he heads over to Claire's tent, and Sawyer mentions that he is a sensitive man and he has his needs. And he's like, that's why we didn't get invited to the army. And she's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, oops, looks like I'm not the only one on the outs with the dock, Kate, there, because Anna Lucia and Jack are planning a little army that you're not involved in. She immediately is like, ouch. Didn't expect that, but okay. We have Hurley and Saeed. Jake, you mentioned Jack and Rose. I haven't seen them in a minute, but at least they get mentioned. They do get mentioned. Yeah. He says, I was at Hurley, or I was at Jack and Rose, or whatever, Jack and Rose. That's Titanic, not
Rose and Bernard.
Yes, yeah. I got it. Rose and Bernard. Their tent, and I found the radio that he contacted Boone. Saeed's not having any of this. Obviously, Saeed is still very upset about, I don't know why, but like he's still upset about.
I wonder what it could be.
Like, I mean, you don't see a shirt of her because it's useless. Anyway.
Oh my God.
Challenge accepted.
Michael's gonna have that shirt instead.
I love it. He gives Saeed a project. He's like, you should fix this radio. He's like, we tried this. Like, I don't know what you want from me. Like, we tried this. It's not going to work. He's like, dude, like, quit being a Debbie Downer. Like, stop being so sad. There's nothing to really be sad about. I
mean, there's some things to be sad about.
It's fine. Anyway, with that, sorry, I got distracted.
Did you see your screen of yourself?
No.
I got distracted.
Heaven, she has powers. Heaven,
Michael, I didn't know you felt this way about Shannon. I'm so sorry.
No,
I could have been friends all along. I don't think Kevin
change it back
yet.
She's changed my tag. She shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Anyway, I'll change it back. But anyway, with that,
I don't endorse this.
He changed her name. I don't know. I mean, I never knew you felt this way, so we could have been friends.
It's still there.
It's still there. Whether you turn I'll take it off. Good gravy. All right. Anyway, we have Anna coming up and talking to Jack. Let me change this back for Michael has a conniption fit. Anna and Jack, she's saying, no one wants to join this army. Like, no one's scared enough. You guys are all like having a good day. Like, what's the combination? He's like, and she's like, I was kidding. But she's kind of planting these seeds of like, you guys aren't scared enough. This is why nobody wants to join this army to go attack these others that told us like to stay put. We have Sun then gardening. Sweet Sun always, see, again, totally useful. Always doing something. She's always there to garden, help somebody out. This time she gets attacked out of nowhere with a hood over her face. We hear the screaming. It starts raining, obviously, because of course it's got to rain, so you can't hear the screaming. But Sawyer and Kate do hear the screaming. They run off and find her unconscious with a big bump on her head. They carry her over. They run to find Jack. Jack is checking in on her. Jen is pissed. Like so doting, but so pissed. Like, do not mess with this man. We've said it once or twice before. But they're trying to figure out what just happened. Kate brings up here, like, we found her with her hands tied. And he's like, found her with her hands tied? Like, what are we talking about here? What is happening? They all start to go into a panic. We get to the, after everything of getting Sun situated, the rain has now stopped. They're on the beach trying to figure out what just happened here. And they're like, it's obviously the others. It's obviously the others. Like, they did this. They attacked us. And Locke's like, I'm not so convinced. Like, they said that they would leave us alone and we haven't been out there. So I don't know why, like, and I don't know how Kevin's gonna, like, he was obviously truthful on that and was trying to talk some sense into Jack. But it didn't happen. So have fun with that one when you two fight about that. But Sawyer, they want to go check it out with guns. That is not happening. Locke is like, nope, we're going to shoot each other. AKA Shannon. With that, Sawyer and Kate.
It's a good point.
Sawyer and Kate go check out the situation. And she's like, well, they don't leave a trail. And he's like, let's just look. She's like, this is really weird. I just don't understand. Then they find a hood, and Kate immediately says, oh, it's just like the one they put over my head. And Sawyer says, no, nope, it's not. This one has a different thread count. All these details are wrong. It's all in the details, and they are wrong. It brings over to the flashback of him and Cassidy doing their like first con. She's terrified. She's like, I don't want to do this, but I kind of want to do this, like the thrill of it. But she's talking about the necklace con is what I'm going to call it, where he has trashed necklaces but putting fake prices on it. Then they're going to sell it for $100, and that's where we get that line of it's all in the details. Like they're going to look at the price tags, not the necklaces. And so they go on. Obviously, he tries to sell it to these like two like frat bros, and they're having nothing to do with it until Cassidy comes up and does her part of the con of like, yep, I want these necklaces. And then they obviously are conned. It's a very cute moment between Sawyer and Cassidy when they did their little first con together. They have a little smile back and forth. But yeah, that is kind of where the start of the Cassidy and Sawyer cons begin, and where we're kind of led to believe like, are these the others, which is what we're thinking, but no, it's not the others because Sawyer's telling us the details are wrong. So Jake, where were you at here? Because this is the kind of the beauty of this episode is we're like, who is it? Why, like, what's going on? So Jake, what were your thoughts going into this?
Well, I was ready to blame John Locke again for something and just see, I was going to see if that was going to be correct, but obviously they told us by the end of the episode. It is funny in hindsight knowing who it is and that Sawyer was actually still involved with it, of like how he immediately knows these details is because he knew what was happening. And we're just like, oh, because Sawyer just knows and can tell like the difference in the fabric. But no, I mean, it's pretty much because he knows what happened. So
and he's planting the idea with Kate that like, no, this isn't the same, so that she now believes that.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's just funny, like the extent of everything, and then like even getting Cassidy to like be in on this, and like she asked for, and doing the thing with the necklaces at the gas station where, you know, you make it seem like he's just this drunk guy from the bar that that people are going to be searching for that rather than someone who isn't, you know, a drunk guy from a bar. But so I don't know. I thought there was some really fun details to look back on once we got to the end of the episode and be like, oh, it's really cool, like the seeds they were planting earlier in the episode to get us to the end. So I thought it was pretty clever.
It's all very hidden in plain sight.
Yeah,
it's very obvious when you like. It's kind of like Walkabout. Like we talked about how obvious it is that Locke can't walk when you know that that's the twist. Like when you watch this again, it's like it's so obviously Sawyer, but it's so well done that you think maybe this is an episode. We've been going through this like redemption of Sawyer, and he's been a much nicer chap for a little while now, and maybe he's going to use his conning skills for good. He's like a detective on the island. He can suss out what people are doing, and he's on our side. It's like, no, it's the obvious one. He's just doing his usual shtick again. And the fact that he like cons everyone. It's not even targeted. It's like Kate, Locke, Jack, everyone.
Gets everybody. I mean, and it's because of all of their distrust of each other, right? So like, he gets Kate because Kate doesn't trust Ana Lucia. Like he gets Jack because Jack doesn't trust Locke. He gets Locke because Locke doesn't trust Jack. Like he gets them all. He gets Charlie just because he thinks it's for the drugs, but he gets Charlie because Charlie just wants to get Locke back. He just plays them all so well. And like, yeah, when you're watching this back, like, because Kate even says like, there's no point, and he's like, no, we should do this anyway. Like, because he wants her to find the thing and like wants her to have the idea. Like it was one of us. It wasn't one of them. Right. Cause she's going to immediately blame Ana Lucia. So like, just so good. It's so well done. Yeah. And like I said, I even like watching this back, I've seen it now a couple of times and I was like, wait a second, like was Ana Lucia in on it? No, she's not. like, because he is very good at planting those ideas. Like, It's like, wait, no, she's not. It's just him and Charlie. Yeah, it's him and Charlie.
I didn't think it was Ana Lucia. I thought that was too obvious. It was a red herring, and like I just did not think it was going to be her.
I think when you're watching like a show, it's you. If something happens early, like seemingly solved, you're kind of like, well, it's not going to be that. But for the characters in the show, I think Sawyer's clever, where it's like it is a believable thing to have come up with. That he sets Ana Lucia up in a very believable way that it could be her, and I don't really blame Kate for buying that. Like even without the blindfold being found, if the fact that they found tracks, like we've seen the others. They're stealthy as hell. They come in and they take people and they're not to be found. It's perfectly done. I mean, it says a lot about his moral compass, but it's well done.
Yeah. His moral compass just points to hell. It does not go north or south.
Well, I mean, never mind. I'll stop. I'll leave it at that one. That one will give me a restraining order, so I'll stop. What I want to bring up though is we also see, like, we don't know when he actually made this plan. I think it's kind of interesting because obviously he went through this after Jack has taken his stuff, but I noticed that he starts planting the seeds even earlier with Kate when she comes to read the magazine. He's like, oh, I guess I'm not the only one on the outs at the dock. Who knows if he had made this plan already at that point, but just the fact, even if he hasn't, he's still trying to separate her and Jack to like make that connection build him more. And I think that's, I mean, I don't know why he should be doing it with me, but I mean, it just goes to show Sawyer again, like just, he's always constantly thinking, right?
Yeah.
Constantly
even in the previous episode, Jack and Ana Lucia are coming out the jungle and Sawyer's like, hey, you know, it's like,
that every day.
I think on some level,
yeah.
I think on some level he's always just trying to like have a wedge between Jack and Kate to exploit at some point. And I think it's when he's like, oh, like you thought I was going to beat you up. No, I'm not going to beat you up. I'm going to take your guns and I'm going to be in charge.
Right.
I've already got pieces in place.
Right.
You're going down.
Yeah. No, it's just interesting because he's always 10 steps ahead of everybody else. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we can say what we want. Like they brought up like dumb hick before and things like that. His mind is constantly working, and it's actually brilliant because especially when we think about how this plan comes to like play out, like all the little like attention to details that he mentioned are in there where you're like, I have no idea what is happening. Like maybe it is the others, but like, wait, could it be Ana Lucia? Wait, you have zero idea. Like it's one of those things. Jumping back into the beach here, we have Jin being a very doting, loving husband. So very worried about Sun. Love him. Love Jin. But again, we know that like don't piss this man off. Like this is all kinds of bad. We have Kate start going over to Jack, asking some questions about Ana Lucia, like, how well do you know her? We might have an issue. And he's like, I'm not going to comment on that. I need to ponder, and walks away from her. Anna then we see talking to Jack, and she's like, hey, got some more people to sign up for the army. She sets herself up. Like, it's just so
she does.
We've got more people interested now after what happened this morning. Everybody's like a little on edge, so now they want to sign up for the army. And he's like, about that, what were you doing during the rainstorm? And she's like, I was lots of places. Like, she's again not helping her case here. And then she's like, wait, you think I had something to do with Sun? And he's like, well, just wondering. And so as this kind of, we're being led to believe that this is the Ana Lucia thing, we have Claire run down, like, again, she's the new useless because of what she did to poor Charlie. But she comes down to let Jack know that Sun is awake. I'm just throwing it out there just one time. Anyway, so Sun is awake. She goes
kidnap a baby.
He was helping. Listen, you weren't here for a reason because we already know. We already went through that. Go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Back and watch it. Anyway, back to Long Con here. We do see Jack come up to Sun, and Sun kind of say, I was there gardening, and then it started to rain. Vincent ran up, and then all of a sudden I have a hood on my head, goes through the story, and Jin is just now he's irate. Now he is heated. They're going back and forth. We don't even get subtitles. They're like, you figure it out. Figure out what he's saying because we're not putting subtitles for this. But then he goes and says, gun. I want a gun. And then we see that this like banter back and forth. Sawyer's off sitting, just watching all of them kind of start to go into this like break down chaos, if you will. And Kate walks up, she's like, what's going on? He's like, well, I mean, she's awake and now everybody wants to go get a gun and they want to go on this, like, he brings up her horse and he's going to ride into the battle with her horse. And Anna Lucia just happens to look over. Again, poor Anna Lucia. She just is like so unsuspecting at this point, but she just randomly looks over at them and Kate immediately goes, oh, this is her plan. It's her plan to get the guns. They're going to go after the guns. They're going to open the hatch and they're going to go in there and you have to go warn Locke. You have to go warn Locke. And Sawyer's like, why? I don't want to do that. She's like, go, you have to do this. Like, it's imperative. He's like, okay, I guess I'll go warn the bald guy. Like, I guess I'm going to go do that. When we get to our flashback, we get Cassidy asking for a big one. I would ask for that as well, but she's talking about a con, not what I was talking about. And with that, Sawyer lets her know it's called a long con. And then he brings up that we don't have what a long con takes, which is money. And she's like, about that, kind of lied. He's like, kind of lied how much? And she's like, 600 grand. So then he brings up a very good plan. Let's just go to an island and drink till we're toes up. I support that plan. She does not. She wants to do the long con first. And that's where I'm going to leave it because we're getting a lot of things that are happening here. And I want to go to Jake immediately and find out what your thoughts are of this whole, pieces are starting to fall into place here.
Yeah. So, it is adorable seeing Jin jump to Sun's defense here. I love how far like Jin has come as a character. And I think for him it's like a genuine character growth of like he is now becoming like a good person. How he was before he started working for Sun's dad. So I really like the character progression. Obviously don't mess with him because he will do so much more than
he will do the nice thing and just kick your ass.
Yeah.
He'll beat you to a pulp.
Yeah, and then obviously we get more layers to the long con. Obviously, Kristin's more excited because more shirtless Sawyer in the bathroom, and then obviously ends with Cassidy pulling Sawyer back to the bedroom.
That was not the bedroom they were going to. That was the shower.
That was the shower, yes.
Shower, bedroom, whatever. I just assumed
she has it logged.
I do. I put my face on Cassidy's face every time I see that. I'm like,
yeah. I think you'd be pulling on more than just that. But
did you guys think you were gonna get through this episode without
Kristin? Oh my gosh,
you're getting out of control.
Yeah.
I am sorry, Josh Holloway. I am sorry. We can't control her.
Episode.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean that's kind of my thoughts on this section. And like the Anna Lucia stuff is really, really interesting. Because even Jack is like at that point like questioning her, like, where were you? And Anna Lucia is like, I've been a lot of places today. And it's like, oh, okay, so
right. And that conversation gets interrupted like right in time for her to not say anything else. So that's right, the last thing we're left with.
But I thought it was obvious that it was not her in this scenario. Even though they were trying to make us believe that, but it was such an obvious red herring for me at this point that I definitely thought it was someone else.
Who did you think it was, Jake, at this point?
Well, again, I wanted to blame John Locke, but then part of me is like, okay, but John Locke was either in the hatch or like outside taking care of Claire, or being around Claire at least. I don't know if taking care is the proper term. But so I was like, okay, who else could it have been? And so when the reveal happened, we'll get there, but I wasn't shocked by the reveal. I guess I didn't have like a solid lead as to who it could be until it happened. So
yeah. No, I mean they do like give us a lot of clues that it's Anna Lucia behind it. Yeah. And I like I said, I sat there, I knew the whole time. I'm like, wait, was Anna Lucia? No, she's not. Is she? because there's so many clues to it. No, but I think the thing with Cassidy, this is where like the illusion like re-broke for me. Like, oh yeah, that's right. I know this is good. Because he says like, you have to make them think it's their idea. And like in that conversation, she is thinking this is her idea. Right. So like that's where I was like, oh, that's right. No, Sawyer really is just this awful of a person. Okay.
Yeah.
Kristin, you can't, he even says I'm not a good person, right? Like,
I think he's just misunderstood.
I think Charlie is misunderstood. I think
Are
Sawyer,
you?
I think Sawyer has, when you are calling yourself the bad person, it says a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. Michael would do this for John Locke as well. So. I always give John Locke credit when he deserves credit. I was like, when they want the guns, he's like, no, because we're just going to shoot each other and not anyone. I was like, that is the right call. Yes, you're just going to accidentally shoot each other. No, you don't need them right now. So I mean, I will give him the credit for that. I was in agreement with him on that.
He also did call out that it was not the others because it was not
right. Right. Well, because he's getting played the same way Kate is to think that it's Anna Lucia, and like it's Anna Lucia and Jack. So like he's also getting played. So like, okay, yeah, he was on to the thing that he was supposed to be on, right? Like he got the message that he was supposed to get to be conned, because what does John Locke love more than getting conned? Out of his guns, out of a kidney, all sorts of things.
Yeah, it's not a great episode. Yeah.
I mean, 2 in a row.
He gets a couple of things right, but by the end, it's not a good look. I do love with Sawyer that how subtly he does plant the seeds, and how the flashback and the on island, overlap. And when he finds out about Cassidy's money, or she thinks he finds out about it, it's not, oh yeah, let's do this. It's we don't need to do this. Let's go to an island. Let's just like he doesn't make it obvious that that's what he's after. He makes her pursue that, not him. And then like with Kate, he doesn't want to go to the hatch. He's not interested in going to the hatch. And it's like, okay, I'll go to the hatch. It's like he doesn't. It's not very like ham-fisted where it's like, wait, are you conning me here? He does it all very naturally.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, let's get into what happens when he goes to the hatch. This is some of Sawyer's best work. He literally just goes to town on Locke. Like, sure, son gets attacked and you're over here doing the damn Dewey Decimal System. And he's like, what can I do for you, James? And he's pissed because, as we all know, that like he doesn't go by James, so he's like, well, John. Like, they're just having their little banter back and forth. And he brings up like they're on their way for the guns, and something tells me once they go out, they're not going back in. To like, again, he's planting these little seeds of doubt. And John, because we all know that John is not the brightest crayon in the box, that he is like, okay, I've got to go like hide them. And he's like, well, just change the combo. And he's like, it's only going to slow him down. He's like, okay, so what do you want me to do? And he's like, well, I need you to push the button. And he's like, yeah, okay, I guess I'll push the button. And Locke goes to town.
So brilliant to give himself an alibi.
Ugh. Yeah.
He is. And so then we get over to our flashback there, where we have Sawyer sitting at lunch. We get a fun little like tied to a past of Kate's mom there handing off the beer and all that. But we do get Sawyer sitting there talking to a guy, and he's like, I found you, Cassidy. Like, we're doing this con. So when we find out all along this was this con, like Cassidy was the long con. And he is like, I don't know if I really want to do that now. See, Sawyer's a good guy. He doesn't want to con the girl. And he's like, if you don't con her, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you both. Like, you guys are gonna be dead. And so Sawyer's like, oh, okay, this is awkward. Like, I kind of like the girl, but I don't want to die. We're going to get into a lot on the island, so I kind of want to stop here just as a break to see if you guys wanted to bring up anything else, just because I didn't want to go into this long stretch of things. Is there anything you guys want to talk about in the Locke and Sawyer of it all, and then the finding out that she's Locke.
I mean, nothing other than he plays John Locke so well, and it just, as a John Locke hater, I love to see it.
Yeah. I thought it was really, really fun to be like, Sawyer has not been interested in pushing the button whatsoever up until now. So just like to see him do that and have it all make sense by the end.
Just so he can be there too when Jack gets there to be like, oh gee, I don't know where he
I was
went
just pushing the button.
The guns. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's such a little shit stirrer. He's like,
it's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, as a Locke lover, it's not enjoyable, but yeah, he does get played like a fiddle, and I don't think he gives a shit about Cassidy. He's conning everyone. He didn't fall for her.
Yeah, I think he cared a little bit, but I don't think he
as much as he can.
Right, like not
if he cared that much, he wouldn't have done what he did.
Right, exactly. Like, yeah, he cares about this person more than he cares, but that's because he's been conning this woman for 6 months, and so he's like a little attached. But like, he's still gonna con her.
Yeah,
because that's what he does.
I think he loves her, but I mean, he has other people to love, like me. But
I mean, what $600,000 do you have to con you out of?
I don't need $600,000. He would just love me to love me. We're moving on. So we do get to where you guys were leading up to. Sawyer sitting there. The button is going, and listen, this is one of my favorite lines. Again, there's so many lines in this episode, and we're gonna get to my favorite line. We have Kristin that loves to light him up. I have my favorite line coming, but he's like, "Hold on one second, I'm about to hit the highest level of Donkey Kong," and it's like he's just toying with them. He's literally just toying with them at this point. And Jack's like, okay, where's Locke? He's like, I don't know. I think he went to get some smokes, went down to the store. I don't know. Again, just toying with them, and it's brilliant. Jack goes to open up the armory, and lo and behold, it is empty. Again, Sawyer comes out and he goes, uh-oh, what happened here? Oh, I think these are yours, and throws the medicine at him. Sawyer is just, listen, he is a little shit, but I love him for it. I love him for every moment of his. And we get to just Sawyer always being Sawyer. We get to the beach where Locke's just, he's enjoying the fire. He's done his deed. He is go-getter John Locke, and he got ahead of everyone. Jack shows up, and he is pissed. He is so not happy right now. He is going to town on them. They are yelling at each other. Everybody's kind of looking like, why are we fighting? What's happening? This is awkward. Can you imagine being anybody else in this camp being like watching those two scream at each other at the top of their
lungs? Steve or Scott or Steve.
Right, Scott or Steve.
I'm gonna go hang out with Saeed. Like, listen, bro, I'll help you fix this radio. I'm not dealing with those two.
Imagine Saeed though, like these two idiots are back at it again. Imagine Saeed over there. But then lo and behold, in the middle of their screaming match, we hear some gunfire. And out of the jungle comes my man Sawyer. And
this is where you had to release the steam from your shirt, right?
Yes, this really is where I was like, yes, please, Sawyer. No, because he leads into a very good speech here about like, I did all these things for you guys. I was trying to get you rescued. I was being the good guy. You guys took my stuff. And then you let these idiots over here who can't decide which way is up decide what we're going to do. And that's not going to happen anymore because there's a new sheriff in town. Y'all best get used to it. The best line ever. It is so hot. That is definitely where the steam happens.
I hate your level of satisfaction right now.
It's so good. It's so good. He's so hot when he says it. It's just, you're like, love that man. Love that man. But with that, we get into the flashback here where he runs to Cassidy's house. He's like, oop, we're in trouble. Gordo is not happy, and we got things that we have to do. And she's like, wait, that's the guy from...
Gordo instead of Gordy.
Gordo is Spanish for fat. You mean Gordy.
Well, whatever his name is. I mean, listen, it's like, what's his name? Remy, too. Like, it's fine.
Remy. We need a Remy and Gordo spin-off.
It's fine. Totally fine. Anyway, so she's like, wait, what's happening? He was the guy from the deal. He's like, there is no deal. You were the long con. This has been all about you. I told him I wasn't going to do it. So now he wants to kill us. She's panicked. Like, what? What is happening? Like, I can't imagine the thoughts of her going through her head. She's like, I'm doing this long con. I'm having the best time with my hot boyfriend. Oh, never mind.
He seems so trustworthy.
Right, he's so trustworthy. And so he starts filling the bag and he's like, go get out, go to Sioux City. I'm gonna meet you there in the morning. We're gonna run away together. It's gonna be fine. I'm gonna pretend to go out there. It's gonna be fine. It's all gonna be good. She's like, let me pack a few things. He's like, no, like, you gotta go, like, run away. Like, this is bad. We're gonna die. And she's like, okay. And like runs away. I'm gonna stop here because we know that we want to talk about this like fight with what?
Can I just say, you know the character you love so much?
Mm-hmm.
Who's Sawyer?
Is what?
Who's Sawyer?
Oh my god.
You misspelled his
thought
name.
it's spelled wrong. It's Sawyer on your tag.
This Kristin Parsons, I love Sawyer.
That's because I was typing it so
I love
fast
Sawyer.
earlier. I love
Oh my
it.
gosh. Right, I'm a big JCAC fan. Like,
That's hilarious. I was typing it earlier because that's when Kevin was coming in and I was messing with your.
All of our hearts just dropped for us.
I was like, oh no. Anyway, but no, that was when I was changing Michael's name earlier, so I was rushing. So yeah, so sorry, Sawyer. That was such disrespect. I can't believe I did that. Let me
noticed it.
I'll just grope you instead. It's fine. Anyway, I'm gonna stop here because obviously this massive speech goes on. We have a lot of things to get through, and then kind of going back to this long con. So Jake, I mean, it's finally revealed. You were thinking this Ana Lucia thing was a joke. You did not think it was Sawyer, but now it's revealed that it's Sawyer. What were your thoughts?
Okay, well, as soon as I was waiting for it because it was dark, and so I'm like, okay, who is it? And then lo and behold, Charlie steps out, and I'm just like, Charlie, but it makes perfect sense. Like immediately before the motivations are revealed, I'm like, okay, it makes total sense for Charlie to want to. His entire life on the island is like basically ruined. His reputation's completely gone. So, I mean, it makes perfect sense for him to want to like at least ruin John Locke. So when he says it, I'm like, makes perfect sense. I understand it completely to want to make a fool out of John Locke. And
I also want to make a fool out of John Locke. So
and Michael turns his camera off.
I mean, we weren't there yet, but let's go for it.
Yeah.
Someone
Okay.
buzzing around on a motorbike out there. Sorry.
Well, let's throw this all in there because then we'll just get to it all then. So obviously after that flashback, we do have Kate starting to question Sawyer of like, why'd you do this? Like, how'd you do this? They said that you were pushing the button. He's like, I don't know. Magician doesn't reveal their secrets. A tiger doesn't change their stripes.
Yeah.
We have Saeed. He does fix the radio for Hurley. They have a great moment of their little radio happening. I made a joke that it was the slow dance that Sawyer and I were going to dance to out of celebration for his moment. And then it's we get back to the flashback of that there was no one in the car. Again, this was him conning her to get her out of the house.
Yeah.
He had so sorry.
Hi, Phoenix.
But he again has conned her. He made her think he gave her the money to take off. He obviously had hid that money, and he went and conned her yet again. And then we go back to where we end this episode of out of nowhere, Charlie comes out of the jungle and he's like, here's your stash. And he's like, I would have taken it before I told you where it was at. And he's like, so he didn't see you. We then find out that Charlie is the one that was working with Sawyer through this, and he is the one that followed Locke, stole the guns and everything, and got Sawyer involved. So yeah, I mean, Jake, go back to like what you were talking about with Charlie, but yeah, Charlie definitely is involved, but for probably a decent reason.
Yeah, well, and I realize now, going back as well to the reveal of Sawyer coming out of the woods and yeehaw, like he's the outlaw taking control. I loved that moment too. Just like so good. And then even like the other small moments of like Saeed helping Hurley out and fixing the radio, and then you get this like radio transmission, which I thought was really, really cool and interesting. Like, I'm wondering where that is coming from, and I'm assuming we're gonna find that out as well. But another mystery to like think about. But as we are talking about now with Charlie and just really, really fun stuff. And so I'm wondering how it's gonna go with Bad Boy Charlie, with him now going under Sawyer's wing and doing all this naughty stuff. And I don't know, like I'm very, very intrigued about this character arc for Charlie. Uh because I mean it's the next logical step after what Charlie has been through now for him to kind of turn over this new leaf and to go underneath Sawyer's wing just makes perfect sense. So
I'm gonna jump in here before these two do because I know that they're gonna go on their whole town about Jock and Locke. I don't like that Sun had to get involved in this.
Oh yeah.
And Charlie does bring up like Sun can never know that I did this to her. But I do think that Charlie, we know that he just went through the ringer with John Locke. He was he was horrible. He was horrible to him for no reason. Like again, these like we brought up in Fire and Water. Kate's having like delusions. Everybody else is Jack's seeing his dead dad, and instead of like trying to help me out, then you made this 10 times worse. So of course, yeah, you punched me out, you made me the villain, I'm gonna become the villain, and I'm gonna make you look like a big old idiot. Which he did.
Yeah.
And I think that he had every right to do that. Like, again, I hate that Sun had to be involved in that and that she got hurt, but I definitely side with Charlie on this. And I side with Sawyer. Okay, bye.
Go for it.
No. Like I get Charlie's anger to Locke. I understand all that. I don't think that's any excuse to drag an innocent woman into the jungle. She has a bump the size of coconut on her head. How about this? How about get Sawyer to hit, or get someone to hit, I don't know, Sawyer could hit Charlie over the head with a gun, or like knock Charlie out, and they could come and find Charlie. If you want to do this, do it to yourself. Don't drag Sun out into the jungle because you don't like John Locke. She had no.
But Charlie,
and she said,
nobody cares about Charlie in this moment. They love Sun though. So
Everyone loves Sun. It has to be Sun.
It has to be Sun.
It has to be the most well-liked person.
It has to be Sun. It has to be Claire. It has to be somebody who like everybody is going
everyone
to likes
to rally behind. Yes.
Yeah.
But if you care that much about making John look like an idiot that you're willing to attack Sun, who has done nothing wrong, like, no, I'm not about that. And he says Sun can never find out. One, coward. Two, no, Sun can't ever find out. Jin can't ever find out. If Jin ever finds this out, he will kill Charlie, and I will say fair enough.
Right.
Because, no, absolutely rotten.
Yeah, but if he does it to Claire, it's going to be obvious that Charlie did it.
I also have to point out, yes, this is horrible that he did. And like I said, I don't like that Sun had to get involved, but you have to bring in somebody that everybody cares about to rally behind. But I would also like to point out that Charlie didn't hurt her. He didn't give her the gash on her head. He scared her enough that she ran away and tripped and fell. But he did just drag her out into the jungle and tie her hands up. So I missed that part, He hurt her. Yes, did he scare her enough where she did escape and she was running and hit her head? And
no, the writers
caused that. Yes,
the writers definitely set up in a way that he is redeemable. He definitely made the wrong choice, but that wrong choice leads to her getting more hurt. But that he is redeemable. He was just trying to scare her. He wasn't trying to hurt her and give her a concussion. Even though this show loves to give people concussions. No,
do you think it's funny actually now that I think about that? Sawyer doesn't know that Sun's going to be knocked out. He set up this plan. So can you imagine when they find Sun, she's got a big bloody head, and he's like, Jesus Christ, Charlie went all out.
I thought about that too. Where he's probably like, shit, I didn't expect that one.
What have I done?
Right.
I released the Kraken that is Charlie.
How many people are going to get hit in the head though? We've had Saeed get hit in the head.
This show could be called Lost, the concussions. It's constant. I mean, again, I try to be very fair in my appreciation of Jack and my dislike of John Locke. When both of them are standing there as he comes out and says there's a new sheriff in town, and they are both dumbfounded, I'm like,
yes.
God damn it!
And John Locke being
I love seeing John like this, but I don't like seeing Jack like this.
What
I find so funny is Jack's like, you gave him of all people guns, and he's like,
No.
No.
Trying to figure it out too. Like Locke is so confused. He's like,
I love Locke not knowing something for once. Like the no one Locke is
makes me so happy.
So funny to see him dumb.
Makes me so happy. Yeah. And like
I say that is satisfying. Like I do understand that. Like it is he is absolutely like shocked. The look on his face we've never seen on John Locke's face before. And they look like idiots. They both look like idiots.
They both look like idiots.
It is crazy.
I will say the thing, like, how do you play Jack? You try to get him to protect people. How do you play Locke? You play to his God complex. Like right, like, oh no, I'm gonna hide the guns so I know where the guns are. Right? Like Jack's he's a hothead, so he's going a little overboard on trying to protect people. Like I want to point that out because John Locke sucks.
What makes this last scene so hilarious about it too is that these two are they're like the leaders, okay, right? Like they're the leaders, and they're literally screaming at each other like kids, like fighting. You know what I mean? Like this whole like banter back and forth. They already look like idiots just screaming at each other like this in front of everyone. And then Sawyer, of all people, that like nobody, like they're all like this dumb hick, and he comes out and like brings out the best of the best. It's like one of those where you're like, this is so satisfying to watch.
Yeah. And the like his turn to evil in the flashback and on the island of like, I'm like I said, I'm torn about like because on some level he is the best and the worst character, but like him, because you want him, like you want him to not turn on Cassidy. You want him like okay, just like take the money and run. Like, oh, the con is over, it didn't work. Take the money, Cassidy, just get out of here. And like even as you're watching, you're like, he's just not gonna go to Sioux City with her. He's just gonna like let her be. And like, nope, he took it all. He did take it all after all, right? Like there's no one in the car. And like maybe he just wanted control. Like, no, he wanted to screw over everybody. Like, Sawyer.
And I think it's an important episode to like remind you who Sawyer is. Because it is easy to get like swept up in like he's very charming, he's very funny, he's like such an entertaining character. Yeah, exactly.
Don't get caught up in the character growth.
Yeah, but he is still that man. Like he is not a good man, and this episode is a reminder of who he is at his core. And yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, this character, like we've thought this whole time. I've thought this whole time Sawyer's turned over a new leaf, and just for him to say, "Yeah, I'm not a good guy," and like I don't know, it's actually like still kind of even more intriguing about him that he's really conned everyone, including the audience, into being a good person. Like I don't know. I'm really enjoying this.
There's a part of me too that wonders, like, did he start to realize he was like changing, and he was like, no, I can't have that. I need to go back to like my old ways.
Yeah, well, and you look.
Kate says like, yeah, like you want to be hated. It's.
Well, and even to look back at like him going on the raft with like Walt and whatnot, I don't know. Like now I'm just kind of wondering about things, because if Sawyer was conning everybody this whole time, I am wondering like what if Sawyer had any other part to play. I almost do wonder that.
I would like to point out that Sawyer is a very good guy, and he just does some naughty things sometimes, but he is a very good guy, and I love him, and nothing he does is wrong. Okay. Thank you for coming to my
I will say again, in Sawyer's defense, and it's what makes him such an interesting character, where it's like, I don't know if he's conning me at this point, but his argument is, I went out on this raft to save everyone, and while I was gone, all my stuff was taken. It's been divvied out, and now I'm, I get that logic, but I don't know if that's actually something he cares about, because it's not his stuff, Right. And why does he need that stuff? Why does he need the tablets from Jack? It makes way more sense for Jack to have them. He does this out of pettiness. He does it out of spite. He does it because he can. Like,
I think for Sawyer, though, like, I think, even though, yes, of course, that stuff is not his stuff, I think it's the principle of the fact, like, he went out, like, after, obviously, the plane, like, he went and ransacked, like, right? So, like, we already knew from the get-go that, like, they've said this before, this isn't your stuff, but to him it is. Like, I went and got that stuff. I found the stuff off the dead body. I didn't see any of you guys going to get the stuff off the dead bodies. I didn't see you guys in the fuselage finding stuff. I mean, Jack does go in there eventually, but like, I think in Sawyer's head, like, this was his stuff. I am trying to be the good guy. You guys are like, didn't give a shit about that. So now let me show you who I really am. And I think that this is him being like, you guys thought I was bad before. Well, guess what? I made it worse. You know what I mean? I feel like that was the Sawyer moment to be like, I'm done with nice.
Yeah. And it's Sawyer understanding that the guns are a new currency that's come into the equation. Like, they didn't have all these guns when Sawyer was last here. So now he has no need for, sun cream to get Shannon to pay him for, and like little things that he got from the luggage. That means nothing. Now there's an armory. Like, if he can control that, he can control the group. So it's like leveling up his power. He doesn't need the old stash. He's got his new one.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, I think it's about that time. Favorite and least favorite and ranking.
Ooh, all right. Favorite. I am going to go with Sawyer just because I feel like Sawyer is so intriguing. Like, I just find him so fascinating to watch, and like kind of this character arc of like this fate growth that we've seen him go through, and kind of questioning everything that has come before. And I find that pretty refreshing, that we can have a character that we feel like has like turn over a new leaf, but really he hasn't, and still kind of come away kind of liking him and being more intrigued by him. Like, they did it in a way that is just fascinating to me. Least favorite, I mean, I'm gonna say Charlie, just because, I mean, Charlie, like, I don't know. I mean, it's between Charlie, John Locke. I don't know. I'm gonna go Charlie just because.
Locke.
Hey, he's kind of done some bad things. I find it fascinating as well, but I don't know. Kind of makes me not want to root for Charlie in this moment. But I'm not saying I like John Locke anymore either. So I mean, it was a tough decision, but I'll go with Charlie just to spice it up a little bit.
Poor Charlie. He didn't deserve that.
Well, I was going to say Sawyer was both my favorite and least favorite, but now I have to change it, Jake. So I'm going to go ahead and say Charlie is my favorite because he just wanted to embarrass John Locke, and John Locke is my least favorite because he's an idiot.
I think we're probably going to be we were going to be across the board. Yeah, Sawyer is the best character in this episode. He's just, it's incredible. And like, we've talked about it a lot, but like, Josh Holloway is just, he's so charismatic and charming. He's such a fascinating character. He's such a unique character in television because he is a really bad person, and you still care about him. You still like him. You still root for him.
Yes.
And that's not easy. It takes a very good acting performance to not have your audience just be like, screw this guy. It probably helps that he's super attractive. Like, if he just looked like a regular schlub, he's like, he probably wouldn't be. But yeah, it's a great character, and this is a great episode that showcases him. Least favorite character, I'm gonna have to say John Locke. Like, I know.
I'm
what?
speechless right now. I'm like, literally.
I know.
Can we timestamp this?
Right. Like,
I think I entered the universe.
I didn't mean to do that.
I am so pleasantly surprised by this development. I had no idea that this was going to happen. Welcome to the train. I don't know
why it does that, but I had to change
my tag.
I changed the tag.
I would like to say I did not change this. Kristin did. I do not hate John Locke, but man, like, as someone who loves John Locke and he's an amazing character, it pains me to see him so easily fooled. Like, he falls for it so easily.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't even cross his mind. He just does what he's told. He just runs off. Like, you've been conned before. Have you not got any kind of, defense against this? It's just infuriating that he's so easily conned. And yeah, not good for Locke. Not a good look. Sorry, Locke.
Welcome to the train. I am happy to have you as a
happy that
passenger.
my man Sawyer could get us to this point. This is great. With that, obviously, like, come on. I made a t-shirt for this episode. Like, Sawyer is definitely number one. Number one across the board. And least favorite character is Gordo, who is officially Gordy, I guess. And he is that because he ruined this cute little, like, Bonnie and Clyde-esque couple of, like, doing this little cute conning moment. So, like, screw you, Gordo, aka Gordy.
I think Sawyer was just trying to keep Gordy from getting his cut. I'm not gonna call.
I think that's where you guys, he's misunderstood. I'm sticking with it.
Sure.
And I'm gonna go right on the board because I know you guys are gonna discuss this. This is number one for season 2 and number one for for everything. So I'm putting it out there. I'm throwing it down. Long con, number one across the board in top 10 and number one for season 2. Done.
Like, really? Or just because you love Sawyer?
No, like, this episode is so good.
It is fascinating.
Ooh.
This episode is phenomenal because you are sitting there, you have no, like, the guessing and all of the little pieces that come into play. This episode, hands down, is so good.
Should I quickly run down the top 10?
Yes, do it. I knew you guys were going to discuss it, so that's why I was like, let me just put this number one out.
The top 10, we have Exodus, Walkabout, Orientation, Man of Science, Man of Faith, The Pilot Part 1 and 2, Do No Harm, Confidence Man, The Other 48 Days, The 23rd Psalm, and The Hunting Party.
Ooh.
I wasn't even sure if I was putting it in. I'm kind of thrown for a loop. I think I personally enjoy it's. I try and, like, when you rank it against the other season 2 episodes, like, firstly in the list, like, where would it go? And I think maybe I'd put it above The Hunting Party, but I wouldn't put it above The 23rd Psalm. I mean, yeah, I love Echo. I just think that's a fascinating episode.
I know
love
you
it.
love Echo.
Monster. Like, I think it's a great episode, but I was thinking, like, maybe bottom of top 10, but that's about it.
But to make it, I mean, I like Echo as well, but, like, I would like to make this episode kind of high as well because I thought it was so fascinating, the different layers to these characters. I don't know. Is it Walkabout, The Pilot, and Exodus that are the top 3 right now? Or Orientation? Trying to remember.
Exodus, Walkabout, Orientation.
Okay. I think I'm making this number 3 overall, and then probably number 2 in season 2. I think this is a really good episode. So I think, like, for me, or wait, was it number 1 season 2? Because if it's above Orientation, I don't know. I'll put it 3 or 4. I think I'll put 4, and then just have it below Orientation. I think this is a really good episode. The information we got in Orientation was just really, really fun, and so I think. But this is a really fun character study, and so for this to be number 2 season 2, number 2 season 2, number 4 overall, then I think I'll go with that.
Where is 23rd Psalm in terms of the top 10?
Number 9.
Because
the other thing to consider as well is we have Confidence Man, like the other Sawyer episode, that's number 7. And, like, this is where it's tricky when we're designing by committee, because I do think it's stronger than that, but then I don't know, the other 48 Days and 23rd Psalm, I don't know.
I'm torn because I do think this is better than Confidence Man. But so, like, I'm like, yeah, it should be above that. But at the same time, for me, like, 23rd Psalm is like one of my personal, like one of the episodes I think about when I think about Lost. So, like, I don't know if I can put it above that. Oh,
well, the way that we've been doing it, like, you guys can put it where you want. You don't have to agree because then we're going to average it out. So, like,
I think I have to personally put it right below 23rd Psalm.
So we're pretty much 2 right at the top and 2 at the bottom of the top 10. So I guess it would even out middle of top 10.
Yeah.
So it would end up above Confidence Man, which I do think is fair for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's the best Sawyer episode we've gotten so far for sure.
And then where are we putting it for season 2?
So it would go near number 4 because it would end up sitting just below Man of Science, Man of Faith on the
right
on the overall list.
Okay. I'm good with that. Sweet. So yeah, this fun episode, and I'm excited to continue more, especially now with all the new things that we've gotten from these characters, and should be interesting to see these different factions go against each other. And so I'll let you get to your spoiler section so you can talk about all the fun stuff that I don't know about. And oh boy. And yeah, we'll see you all next time on The Tribe of Nerds.
I love you, Sawyer!
Fuck John Locke. Welcome to the Fuck John Locke train, Michael. Oh my gosh.
No.
Hello, everyone. We are here for the Tribe of Nerds after Jake, the spoiler section of Lost. Man, oh man, we have my man Sawyer's episode. It was so good.
Oh my gosh, she's so excited to talk about Sawyer that she didn't even give her usual, you got to get out of here.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Like, comment, subscribe, and then leave. Yeah, and then, all right, go on.
Also, I also took the shirt off because I felt like you guys were sick of seeing his face and me stroking it, so I did take this off for the spoilers. So you're welcome.
Good call.
I felt like it was enough for the episode. We didn't need it for spoiler too. But with that, yeah, like, comment, subscribe, get out. And if you haven't done already, like, what have you been doing here? We already said it. So let's jump into this. Man, oh man, Sawyer, he's so hot. But let's talk about this long con, shall we? There was something that I think we want to all get to right away because Jake, again, pulling out this random shit that spoils everything. And he doesn't even realize it yet. And we all die a little bit on the inside. But he had brought up a movie called Bullet Train, to which we were all like, oh, maybe Sawyer referenced it. He's like, well, no, it just came out a few years ago. And so unless Sawyer's a time traveler, well, yes, he is, Jake. As a matter of fucking fact.
Actually, Jake.
Funny
you should mention.
Funny thing is, he does not think for a second that he's remotely on the money with that. There is no Dick than that.
No, this was just
he's going to be blown away.
Yeah,
let's see if he remembers when we get to that part that he did say that.
Right.
Oh, we'll remember to bring it up.
Yeah. We'll remember it, but does he remember that he even said it?
But also, not only Jake foreshadowing it, Hurley also foreshadowed.
Yes.
They are listening to the music at the end of that. And he's like, this could be coming from anywhere. And he goes, or any time. Well, funny you should mention that because you guys do time travel.
Yes. Also, speaking of Hurley, I know I've brought this up on other spoiler sections. It stood out to me again. So Hurley is eventually going to be the leader to like take over the protector of the island. And I remember the first time I watched the story being like, that didn't make any sense. But as I watch it now, I'm like, oh yeah, Hurley does all these things. So like Hurley sees that Sayid is upset and distraught, and he like brings him a thing to do to take his mind off of it. And even though Sayid at first is like, I don't want your stupid radio, right? Like he actually does work on it. Like,
but he like gives it like, oh, I know you're not going to work on it, but I'll just leave it here because you're going to work on it.
Yeah, like, oh, Hurley, you did see this in Sayid, and you did help him in a difficult time. Like, oh.
Yeah.
You are going to be a good island protector. Yeah.
The main thing from this episode, though, the long con, as you will, is not very long conning, because so many things happen in this season that prevent this long con from being a thing. We know that Charlie brought up Sun can never find out. He himself tells Sun, idiot moment. But Michael, you did bring up too, like, you better hope Jin never finds out. We know that she says, I'm not going to tell my husband because he will kill you. But she is not happy about it.
Jin never does find out about that.
No.
And it's a very good job because Charlie would have died a lot sooner than he actually does.
She does say that to him, though. Like, I'm not telling Jin because he will kill you.
One of Desmond's flashes of Charlie would have been of Jin just strangling him on the beach.
Right. For sure. But also, the other long con of it all, Sawyer obviously has all the guns and the heroin and those things and he even offers them up to Charlie. He's like, I would have taken them if I really wanted it. But we do know that good old Michael's gonna be coming back here soon, and he's gonna upset a lot of people because he's gonna kill a bunch of people. Not a bunch, it's two, but they're gonna need the heroine to let poor Libby not
ease
suffer.
Libby's pain in her final moments.
And Jack, being Jack, goes, Kate's gonna go with you, and she's like, I don't need to go, and he's like, no, you're going with him, and she's like, I don't understand, and Sawyer's like, because basically I can either let poor Libby suffer, or now you're gonna find out where my stash is, so let's freaking go. And again, see, Sawyer, he comes through. He's the good guy. He comes through. He could have just said no.
Yeah.
He could have said no.
He is slowly changing, but he's resisting that change.
I
think that's what it is more than anything. It's like resisting it. I think he actually enjoyed the person he was becoming. And that's like, no, stubbornly, I'm going to go back to who I was.
Yeah. I think a lot of it goes, a lot of it plays into the fact that Sawyer doesn't like being like told what to do, right? So like when Sawyer's like making him feel like a little kid, like stealing the stuff out of his tent, and you know what I mean? Like, I think maybe if Jack would have gone to him and been like, hey, Sawyer, like, listen, thanks for, I know you took
what Sawyer needs, what we all know Sawyer needs, is Juliet. And that will fix him.
It's so sweet. I can't wait. Ugh. Anyway, I'm there with Kason right now, and I'm like, I love their love story. And she's so sad. She's like, it's over, isn't it? I was like, son of a bitch. Freaking Locke ruins everything. Anyway, with that.
Ruins everything.
Always ruins everything. Freaking Locke. So Long Con is not for the long con of it all because it's going to end very quickly. But I love this episode. It's literally up there. I put it in number 1 for a reason because I think that this is hands down one of the best episodes of Lost. It's just, there's so many great episodes of Lost, but I mentioned this earlier when we were doing this. I feel like this could have been a movie, not just because I'm obsessed with Sawyer, but like, I feel like this could be not even just a Lifetime movie. It could be like an actual movie where they make this whole storyline. You know what I mean? So I feel like it was really well done.
Yeah. Yeah. Up until that point when he gets in the car, he gets in the passenger seat. There's no reason for him to get in the passenger seat. It's just to mess with us, the audience. So he gets in the passenger seat. And it's not to go over and see the empty driver's seat. Like,
yeah. Anything else from this episode?
We do meet Madison, who is not Madison. That's Fear the Walking Dead. What's her name? Cassidy.
Cassidy. Yes.
Cassidy, who's gonna.
We will see her again.
She's pregnant after this little interaction with Sawyer.
Yeah,
with Clementine.
Clementine.
Lining
it up. She finds out. I mean, and she brings this up because she actually, guess who hangs out with Kate out of nowhere. And which is a good foreshadowing. She's running that long con with not the long con, but the con with the necklaces.
Yes,
when her and Kate meet. Yes, so. Yeah. With that she tells Kate she's pregnant at that moment. We know that when they're jumping out of the helicopter, he's like, go take care of my kid because she will come to jail. She sends Sawyer to jail over this con. But she comes and lets him know about the kid. So yeah, Cassidy is. What am I
going to say to him? Goo goo gaga.
I love my man. He's so funny.
You would.
Yeah, we actually see Cassidy quite a bit. She, out of people that we randomly see in flashbacks, she is one that kind of appears because we even get her in season 5 when Kate comes to give the money and all so she's still around. So she shows up quite a bit. So yeah. Anything else?
I think that's it.
I think that's it for Long Con. But of course, like, comment, subscribe. Tell us all the things. Let us know what stuff you have. If it's a spoiler, though, please put spoiler and then 5,000 things because Jake.
He won't click see more. So you just have to make sure it's enough to hide it behind that.
Yes.
If he can read it without having to click see more, he's just gonna read it. So spoiler. ... And then type it.
He's like Ron Burgundy. He will just read it.
Right.
Correct.
But also comment about how much you love Sawyer because this moment was a great moment. And I can tell you where I got the shirt. So let me know in the comments. With that, we're saying goodnight to my man Sawyer, but not for long. We'll see you guys for the next episode of the Tribe of Nerds after Jake. Bye.
Bye.